My 32F husband 32M has a very time-consuming hobby, and I'm growing resentful. How do I talk to him about this? I love my husband dearly, but his all-consuming hobby is turning our home life into a one-sided struggle that I can no longer handle. I am writing this on a throwaway account because my husband follows my main profile. My husband and I have been together for 4 years and married for 6 months. For context, we welcomed a baby in the middle of 2025. Right before we started dating, my husband picked up a hobby that is incredibly time-consuming. He attends meetings 2 to 3 times a week and travels for big events 2 to 3 times a year. These meetings can last up to 4 or 5 hours, meaning he does not get home until very late at night. I used to be fine with it, but with the baby in the picture, everything feels off balance. I come home from work, take care of the house, and look after our child, which is my favorite thing in the world. But I have almost no time for myself. I often don't even eat on the nights he goes to his meetings. I don't have a hobby, I don't get to see my friends after work, and I don't get any time to just exist as an individual. My husband is typically loving and caring, and he will do anything I ask, but he simply cannot understand why I don't love this hobby anymore. Whenever we talk about it, he shuts down and claims I have a bad attitude, though I admit I do get sad when we discuss what time he will be home. We have had many conversations, but we always end up at a standstill.
I try to explain that if he were going to the gym and returning by 5 o'clock, I wouldn't have an issue. It is the sheer amount of time he takes away from his family that hurts. I feel undervalued and disrespected because it feels like he does not take the needs of me or our baby seriously. I love him so much, but I need to find a way to communicate this without causing massive turmoil. Thankfully, I have an update. I spoke to him tonight because I was so anxious about it, and I managed to do it without crying, which was a huge win for me. I sat him down and said, "Hey, I know you love your hobby, and we have had a few conversations about it, but I really need you to listen to me." He initially pushed back, but he was willing to hear me out once he realized how serious I was. I told him he needed to listen, or I would be staying with family for the time being because I am at my breaking point. I explained how valuable time is, how he is not spending enough time at home with the baby, and how burned out I am. Since I work a job where I care for others, I explained that having him home to help with childcare is invaluable. We discussed time management, and I told him if he wants to continue, he needs to cut back and give me dedicated time. He agreed and apologized, saying that his hobby is how he blows off steam. I asked him to name a time when I got that same luxury, and he could not. He started to cry and admitted he didn't realize what a toll this was taking on me. We decided he will cut back to 1 or 2 meetings a week and choose a location closer to home.
We are also going to give me the same number of hours per week for my own breaks as he gets for his hobby. He also offered to help me explore new hobbies, maybe even something we can do together. I told him that if things do not improve, our next step is counseling, followed by a serious conversation about our future. He was profusely apologetic and said, "I really never meant to hurt you or the baby in this way. I am going to be better. I don't want to be a deadbeat like my dad was." I have forgiven him for now, and while it is hard to convey in these paragraphs, he really is a good man. I have hope, and I will be sure to update if anything else happens.